Change 2018, literal change as we've moved into the clothes bag this week. Hello, Will.
Hello, Jack.
It's just me and you.
It is. Lisa's busy, but I'll come on to work what she's doing. So
yeah, as ever, Change 2018. He's not filling it this week. He's got no money left.
I've put a check in.
Anyway, let's move on. Feels very important sat behind this desk.
Yes.
Will, what are we talking about change this week?
Right. A couple of focuses, mainly on the continued change of use at Cafe 43. So today, and one of the reasons that we're here is outside we've got Louis, who is our catering, cafe manager, who started today as a volunteer. And what it means is that we can start doing more of what we do, but in a better way, a more professional service, improving our food and hygiene, just elevating how we present and making it a better experience for our friends. And that's really helpful. And I can't thank Louis enough, really, because it also frees Lisa up to do other stuff that she needs to do.
So she can help change other things.
She can help change other things.
So we've gone over the benefits over and over again on these videos of what the change of use will help. But the cafe manager will increase the ability for what we can do food-wise, because he'll know more than we ever have.
Yeah, so he'll come in the mornings, he'll look at what surplus food is that we've got, and we want to talk about that in a little bit more detail. Because
what is surplus food?
Yeah, so surplus
I'm sure
food
loads of people know,
is food that otherwise is not used at a cafe or at a restaurant and would go in, or a supermarket, and would just simply go in the bin and be thrown away. And there is huge quantities. You only have to look across the media. So part of that really is for us to enhance how we work. And we had a very good meeting with FareShare to talk about how we work with Tesco's, who are one of the leading supermarkets who will be zero wasting this year. So that means there's no waste from Tesco's, which is an awesome achievement. We are part of that. So it means that and they're very efficient. We get a text every evening.
So who are FareShare?
FareShare run on behalf of Tesco's their sort of surplus food project, and they coordinate across the UK, and they've got a very sophisticated system. I get a text of an evening. It's increasing now. It's virtually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday, and I say yes to the number of trays.
So they have, when they finish a day, they go through everything and go, right, we would throw this away, and then so they text you and say, we've got all this left over.
And so I go down there, I meet the store manager or the person responsible for coordinating that, and it can be cakes, it can be bread, it can be bananas. We've recently been getting flowers as well.
Oh wow, fantastic.
Which is really cool. But the system works really effectively, and I suppose for me, along with the other places like Greggs, Nando's, KFC, it's culturally we are beginning to understand what it means to change that sort of state of mind, that we don't throw anything away. Because our entire cafe runs on surplus. I think the only thing we're buying at the moment is milk. So if you know anybody who's got a free quantity of milk, let us know. But that is providing a whole range and particular emphasis on where we can go, which is fresh food. So one of the things that FareShare was really interested in is us being able to use more fresh food. And Louis, who's our catering manager, if I mentioned that before, his speciality is soup. So he's able to take what is fresh vegetables, which is fantastic, because that's not a diet that a lot of our friends have included in a high proportion. And he's able to utilise that, a bit like Ready Steady Cook. What have I got today? So it is truly changing those perceptions. So people should be zero tolerant. If you're aware of food waste, or you ask in a store what are they doing with their waste, the answer should be we're sending it off to so and so, or we're giving it to so and so.
A lot of stores do. I mean, it's
tremendous.
There's been a dramatic change and difference made. Change 2018, so that's all about the cafe and whatnot that we've spoken endlessly about. It's been picked up by Radio Stoke, hasn't it? Radio
Stoke, thank you BBC Radio Stoke, Sarah and Tim. And I think what was interesting for me is I was on Sunday morning, and we talked about our sort of loose change type of change.
Like we've said on these videos, when we came up with the idea, it was all about collecting the change. But then when we thought about it, we thought actually the word change has many different meanings, and we want to change 2018 and the perceptions, and they really picked up on that.
They did, and this whole idea of changing the cultural view on homelessness, and we were saying, and it's across the media all the time, is that actually this can be addressed if we all wanted to make a difference.
And then they had reports on the hour.
Yes,
didn't they, on the news?
Thank you, Sarah, for picking that up.
Which was fantastic.
I think it's just beginning to really pick up where people are, and I think this weather has had a massive psychological effect on people.
But
in terms
again, people are homeless all year round. It's difficult even when it's not cold. And it was really obvious around Christmas time that people really wanted to get involved. But like we said, time and time again, You know, now it's actually colder than
Yes,
it was at Christmas
yeah.
time, and we don't get the same pickup because it's not the same. You don't get the same feeling around Christmas.
Yeah.
But it is important that people do help and do scream and shout about people who are vulnerable
Yeah.
and especially homeless at this time of year, trying to sleep out in minus
Yeah.
goodness knows what
There's
it's
lots
been.
of good advice coming through. We're using a lot of our social media. I'll talk about that in the Hob News actually a little bit more. And if you're challenged by any of the stuff that we do, as we always say, is come and see us, come and understand what we do, understand how you can make a difference, because actually you can change in
Yeah.
2018, either your life or somebody else's.
Right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Will.
That's all right.
The audio may have changed halfway through. We've got a heater on because it's absolutely freezing in here. I suddenly realised it was blasting out, so I turned it off. That's why we're suddenly shivering. But yes, we'll be back, I imagine,
Back in the usual.
back in the unit next week, or we might be in the cafe if we've got
Yes.
some time.
Yeah.
Right, we'll stop talking and we'll let you go. Don't forget, after this is Hob News over on YouTube, so keep a lookout for that. Thank you very much for joining me, Will.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you very much for watching at home, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.